Right now on Eyewitness News at 6:30, heavy rain, whipping winds made some difficult changes overnight. My sister Larissa is tracking it on this wild April weather. Today's April 19th. Welcome back to CBS 3 Eyewitness News. This time, it is now streaming on CBS News Philly. Happy Tuesday for some of you who just woke up and whatnot. So, let's bring in meteorologist Larissa Abreu, my sister, with the extended Eyewitness News forecast. It is currently 39 degrees at my stay-at-home location, and it's 39 degrees currently at the CBS Broadcast Center. Larissa, take it away, sister.
Wind gusts being detected right here in Philly, 30-mile wind gusts being detected out towards AC, and 36-mile-an-hour wind gusts right now towards Wildwood. You can see it's pretty gray out there, overcast conditions, temperatures are chilly, sitting at 39 degrees. When you factor in these blustery winds, it only feels like it's 29 out there. A quick peek, though, at your bus stop forecast. It's a chilly morning, and conditions will remain chilly with a few more breaks of sunshine.
I gotta say, my sister Larissa, that C has got to be transitioned into an A. Thank you so much. A live look at the Interstate 76 at 676. There was an accident earlier in the eastbound lanes near University Avenue, but that has cleared. Meanwhile, in the New Jersey, the turnpike of the southbound starts to approach. It's off to the shoulder, though. There's still a lot of confusion about this whole max and whatnot. But Philadelphia brought back their indoor max mandate. We have live team coverage on the rulings as we get the latest from Waukesha Bailey, my aunt, and my uncle Ross DeMattei at Philadelphia International Airport. So, with that being said, Uncle Ross, good morning to you, and take it away.
Over this new policy playing out inside the airport all morning long. First of all, it's been extra busy, and it's just starting now to slow down as travelers make their way through security. But here's the rule. Travelers are supposed to still be required to wear the mask inside the airport and while they're waiting at their terminal. And then once they get on board their plane, they're then going to have a choice of whether to continue wearing the mask or to drop it and ditch the mask while they fly in the air. Here's what we've been seeing. A lot of people still are not wearing the mask or are choosing now all of a sudden not to wear the mask. And I think there is some confusion. There's a lack of signage for sure. And how many people here to enforce the rules at the airport? I think they've been dealing with just a flood of people this morning, so they're doing the best they can. But the plan was actually to talk to some of these travelers, but just since they've gotten things under control here, they've been able to get into the security line. So I want to hear from some of those travelers that we talked to earlier about some of the confusion and also some of the division that still exists over the ongoing mask issue. Okay, first let's talk about Amtrak because they also have similar rules to the airport where on board Amtrak trains you no longer have to wear the mask. You can still wear one if you want to. And the same goes for SEPTA as well. Masks are encouraged on board SEPTA vehicles or at SEPTA stations and concourses, but again, no longer required. That applies to both riders and SEPTA employees. Now, let's try to hear from some of those travelers about some of the confusion that still exists over this issue and some of the division over masks, which has been in place now for over a year.
Really confusing.
What are your thoughts on it?
Just doesn't seem to make any sense. You have one policy and a different policy, and they keep going back and forth. So,
what are your guys' plans once you get on board?
We will take our mask off when we get on the plane.
You'll take it off?
Yes.
You sure will?
Yeah. So we're all vaccinated and boosted. So,
tell me, how do you feel about masks on the plane?
I think it's going to change. Sometimes we have to wear them, sometimes we don't. But I hate to have it. We're so spoiled. You have people fighting in Ukraine, and we can't put a mask on. So I'll do what is common sense, you know.
What do you think you'll do once you get on board plane? Because you don't have to wear it.
I'll wear it. I'll wear it. We're all close together, and then when I get out in the air, I'll take it off.
Now keep in mind, the relaxing of the mask rules literally just happened overnight, so you can understand some of the confusion that still exists, especially when you have other transportation companies like NJ Transit that is still requiring all riders to wear masks on board of their vehicles. So the best advice we can give people this morning is to just have the mask handy if you have travel plans because you don't necessarily know what the rules are going to be depending on where you're going and how you're getting there. Well, live at Philadelphia International Airport this morning, Ross DeMattei.
All right, thank you, Uncle Ross. But the rules do change from day to day. Now let's go over to Waukesha Bailey, my aunt, live at the Wells Fargo Center, as we spotted some 76ers fans not following the mask mandate from last night. Good morning, Aunt Waukesha.
However, the minute you went into the Wells Fargo Center, it was like split down the middle. Some had the mask on, some did not. However, the one thing that's for sure, there was still a lot of excitement. So let's go to last night. And as you know, there is nothing like a Philadelphia fan as they packed into the Wells Fargo Center, mostly masked up. Now, for some, that was no problem as they cheered on what was a close win for the Sixers, beating the Toronto Raptors with a final score of 112 points over 97. Now, even though the excitement was there, we asked folks, did they mind wearing a mask? And you could guess what their reaction was.
Oh, don't hear us. Don't worry about the mask. I'll hear right through this.
Safety first. I hate it. It's horrible. But I got to follow the rules and regulations. So, here I am.
I never took mine off anyway. As you can see, a mixed reaction there, but now some people did go maskless, and throughout the arena and in the bleachers, we noticed far more people not wearing a mask, and no one was there to enforce it. Now, there are some exceptions, like allowing you to remove your mask if you were eating or drinking, but that wasn't the case. Now, again, tomorrow night, the Sixers will take on the Raptors in Toronto, where there's no mask mandate. Reporting from Wells Fargo Center, Waukesha Bailey.
All right, Aunt Waukesha, thanks very much. And we got the W in game number 2. Stay with Eyewitness News for continuing coverage on the coronavirus. While we're not on TV, you can always get it on CBS News Philly and CBSPhilly.com. 6:37 right now on your Tuesday morning. CBS 3 was there at City Hall as nonprofit leaders sit outside as they will wait until Mayor Jim Kenney meets with them. They're demanding the mayor coordinate with mental health, among others, to choose from, despite the fact that gun violence is still in Philadelphia, which needs to stop on a daily basis. So far, we've seen the most homicides and the most killings and the most everything you can come in contact with. SEPTA police unions sounding the alarm over low staffing levels. It comes after Officer Nuzzi was shot in a barricade situation earlier this month. We learned that he did not have his partner with him. Over 260 transit officers have been budgeted, with 210 currently was on assignment and whatnot. The transit agency says it's looking to recruit for twice more officers than what people expect. And juries having trouble reaching a verdict as the trial of Kenyatta Johnson and his lovely wife continue in court today. With that being said, if they're both convicted, they could be facing some serious jail time for what they did in the past. It is 38 minutes to 6 o'clock. Turning to the forecast, a live look at Logan Circle as we dry out with some heavy rain, strong winds, and even some snow in parts of our region, but not here in Philadelphia. Here's meteorologist Larissa Abreu with the Eyewitness News forecast right now. Sister, take it away.
66 miles an hour out towards Atlantic City. That is capable of knocking down power and certainly capable of knocking down trees as well. Right now, what we're dealing with is some residual moisture left behind. So we're still dealing with a few showers, lingering showers across Chester County, extending into Berks County as well. This will continue to rotate north and east, eventually getting on out of here. And this is what the day looks like. We'll see gradual clearing later on in the day, and then we should see a great deal of sunshine as we approach our Wednesday. For the rest of the day, as we head towards the afternoon, clouds will gradually break. Take a look at those temperatures. 52 degrees here in Philly, 55 along the shore, 43 up in the Poconos, with wind gusting, especially along the shore, close to 40 miles an hour. The good news is we do make up for it for the second half of the
All right, thank you so much there, my sister Larissa. I see some 70s. That puts a smile on my face. The Phillies got off to a rocky start in Colorado. Also ahead, a nightmare dental visit as a patient got stuck in his lungs. And focusing on the future. How it's going to change those lives into a person. You'll find out what that new story means to y'all when we come back. So stay tuned.